Hi and hello watch fans and welcome back to Geneva Watch Days 2025 from the Glass Onion outside the Pavilion. Right now we're joined by Rolf, the big man behind Oris, one of the most popular brands on the ground over here, one of the biggest collector's brands in the world. Rolf, how are you doing today?
Doing very well. Good to be here.
It's great to have you back again. We've had you on the show before and it was a positively received episode. Without a doubt, everybody loves Oris. It's a great affordable product that is exceptional quality. So what have you got to show us today?
Well, we have two launches here at the Geneva Watch Days. One is our altimeter that you may know. We have had it in the collection since 2013. And now this is a collaboration with Bamford, who just gave it some nice colors, gave it a new look, and it was very well received yesterday. Then we also have one of my favorite complications, which is caliber 113 that we used to have in Atelier, and now we bring it here in the Big Crown collection and with quite a funky dial.
Those colors are incredible. That is very, very timely. Glad to see you experimenting, glad to see you pushing the boat out as usual, but that Bamford Altimeter, that is something special. Alan, what do you make of that?
Well, I love George and I love what he does. I love Oris. Real watches for real people. Hence we're on the Real Time show. Rob. But all kidding aside, just think about it, guys. Who makes mechanical altimeters? Rob, I'm picking your brain. Who has it in production still? Favorlobe doesn't.
No.
They didn't bring it back.
No, that
So who does?
That was unwearable as well. This one's much more forgiving on the wrist.
Exactly. I just
nice.
had it on my wrist. The black tones it down. The depth in the dials is amazing. It's out there, but not in your face. Limited edition.
Yeah, 250 pieces.
Rolf, where do you sell most of the altimeters? Like what sort of area of the world are they most popular in?
Well, it's more popular in the western part of the world, so in Europe, in the United States. UK always has been a good market for the altimeter. It started as a very technical piece, right? It still is the only automatic watch with a built-in mechanical altimeter, the only one in production now, and the technicals behind it are really impressive. It's a vacuum capsule that sits below the movement, and with the tiny movements that come from the air pressure changes on that vacuum capsule that are translated to the carbon hand, you see the altitudes on the dial, which I find fascinating.
For us Dutchies, we are below sea level. But that's why I love going to the mountains. Me, myself, as a skier, I would enjoy this. In reality, besides that, it looks cool and has depth to it, and we'll share more content about this watch. In reality, Rolf, who uses your altimeter watches?
Well, you're right. It's really a watch that people who are in the mountains or skiers or mountaineers, they use it. I like to wear it when I go hiking, when I go skiing also. But even living in Holland, you can use that watch because basically it's a barometer.
Yeah.
Right? It shows a change in pressure. And then if you connect that change in pressure to a reference point, then you have altitude.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a barometer that shows you changes in weather also. So very good use in Holland too.
Amazing. So you heard it first, because Holland has, maybe I dare to say, one of the most vivid OSCs. OCS, sorry. The Oris Collectors Social Clubs,
Yes.
OSC. I always confuse those two letters. I think it's one of the most vivid social clubs you have for us. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, there are more than 50 around the world, and
Wow.
they are all very active. And I love, wherever I go, I love to meet these people. It's not to just talk about Oris, but to celebrate the love for mechanical watches. And they're all like-minded people. They like watches. They like to have a beer. They like to hang out. They like to talk watches. And that's how we like to spend our free time, don't we?
You do.
I mean, you mentioned having a beer there, and it's very true that like the Oris social clubs gatherings are extremely enjoyable from a libation perspective. How did you cultivate that personality. How did you become a beer brand? Because I work with a couple of brands that like define themselves as such, but I've never seen as much beer consumed at a watch event as I have at an Oris event.
Well, I wouldn't say that we are a beer brand. We
A
are
bear brand. Rob,
Yes,
your
we are a
favorite
bear brand.
Oh, don't start that again.
We are watch brands, and we are watch enthusiasts ourselves, and we like to hang out with our fellow watch enthusiasts as we do it in our own free time. And if you can do that even in your professional life, you're really privileged, right? And traveling around the world and meeting like-minded people, it really is a nice thing. And Oris has always been a brand for the community, with the community, and we still are. And I really like to cultivate that, and it is great personal benefits for me to be able to do that.
And what I love as well, that these social clubs actually give back. In Holland, you do beach cleanups, I think.
Yeah.
New York, obviously, is maybe one of the most popular things you guys do, and you make collabs by cleaning up the Hudson.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
California, you did beach cleanups. So I got that out of it. So that's also an element that I really, really appreciate. I also spoke to Dennis Janssen, member of the Real Time Show community. Shout out to Dennis. Is a very active member of the Oris Social Club. So I've spoken to him to do a Amsterdam Canal cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something we're working on. And you guys picked it up. I've also asked them, they are rather self-organizing. Most brands don't like losing control over their brand. It's correct that these social clubs can run themselves.
Yeah, if you need to have control, normally you have something to hide, right? If you don't need control, then people can just be themselves, do what they feel is best. And that's also how I try to lead this company. I don't want to have opinions. I don't want people to have to bend. I want to cultivate an attitude.
Yeah.
And if you all have that same attitude, then you can push things forward the way that you think they're best, and it will be the best for the brand also. In this exclusive world of mechanical watches that we are in, I think we have a somewhat special position at Oris. We cultivate this inclusive energy. We want to share the joy about watches in the exclusive world of luxury. You want to create envy. It's a very short-lived, somewhat bad feeling, and there's no joy involved, right? You just exclude people. That's where exclusive is coming from, and we do just the opposite.
Well said, and you can feel it, grassroots almost. Talking about inclusive, if somebody's listening or watching to this show, how can they be included in their local chapter?
Well, they go to the website or they go to Facebook. They see where it is. They write the message. The president will contact them. They can be part of it. And it's not a formal thing. It's just a gathering of people who like watches. And if you like watches, eventually you will also own an Oris.
Exactly.
And
So it's not mandatory to be an Oris watch owner yet.
absolutely not. Let's just hang out and have a good time talking about and appreciating mechanical watches, and that's all you need.
Fun fact, they reward these gatherings and clubs with their own editions. Did you know that, Rob?
I've heard tell of it on the street, although I've never been to one of these events, and I feel like an idiot for not going. It sounds like a wonderful environment and something I'd like to be a part of. So maybe I should come. Maybe I'll come to an Amsterdam one.
You should. I know Dennis will be happy. The whole crew and Gijs. Shout out to Gijs. But they make for their local chapters collabs. So how do these come about? Do they pitch to you guys in Holstein what they want, or how does it work?
Yeah, we have regular meetings or team sessions with the presidents of the chapters. They get to see our novelties in advance. They get to give feedback on what we do, and this is very valuable to us. And that's how that takes place. So there's really no secret formula behind it. And yes, you can have a beer at these events also. Rob, so you'll be happy. There is normally, there is a,
So-
often we have specific Oris beers.
Yeah.
So you will be able to have an Oris beer there too, but
Did you see his German? Yeah. We talk about beers and then it
no
became German.
pressure. You know, you can also have a glass of wine or a glass of water, whatever you feel comfortable with.
I think I would be comfortable with anything. It sounds like an environment very comfortable and very welcoming. It's very interesting that you consult with the community in the design process, and it must give you great insight into where the market is moving and what the opinions of the people that will be buying your watches most likely are before you drop a release. Have you noticed any major shifts in recent years, last couple of years specifically, from your community that you're applying to your strategy now?
Yeah, there were several watches that came from that exchange. For example, the purple dialed Aquis was a request from the community. I was in one of these at the time Zoom calls and heard that several times, and then we made it. It was a great success. Also, sizes of watches are influenced by the feedback of the community. So we really listen. And it's our understanding of watchmaking that we are on that eye-to-eye level, and that we don't just dictate what we think is right, but we have that exchange. And of course, at the end, we need to steer the brand, so we need to have our vision, but our community is part of that and informs very much what we do.
While Rob is admiring the second launch of this fair, I kindly want to ask you, Rob, I said Rolf, to at this camera with your wrist. And I want people to look at the bottom of his wrist. This is an example that Oris listens to the watch owners, because one thing that I very much dislike about metal bracelets, single, double, butterflies, triple, folding buckles, is the thickness. I was fiddling around with the new week calendar, and I noticed how slim and well engineered the clasp was. So walk us through that process, because a lot of brands neglect that. Why did you do it? How did you come about? Did you listen to the market? Because these are things that don't per se sell more watches and you don't notice it.
Well, at the end, they add substance to your brand and therefore will sell more watches. But we just try to make the best product possible. And the bracelet is a very important part of your watch. We updated our Big Crown Original collection this year with a new metal bracelet that was received very well on the 754 collections as well as on the 403. And now also Caliber 113 has gotten that update. And as the watch really has become a piece of jewelry, that bracelet must be part of that piece of jewelry and can't just be there to hold the watch on your wrist, right? And that was the thinking when we approached that metal bracelets process with the Big Crown Original, and I'm glad that you like the result.
Yeah. Rob, do you want me? Rob is all mesmerized.
Yeah, I'm
You
captivated
see-
by the movement. I think it's so beautiful. It's just a really nicely done.
Maybe while Rob still is in awe, if I remember correctly, the 100 platform was done for your 100th anniversary. So that is
110th.
110. So
Yeah.
it's 11 years ago.
Yeah.
11 years ago. How has it been faring for you, that caliber? Because ever since you launched more calibers, you elevated your quality promise by giving 5 years warranty on your own calibers. Walk us please through this stunning novelty, and it's going towards a full calendar, because you have day, week, and month.
Small
If I
second.
remember,
Yep.
small seconds, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we are a brand that has made almost 300 own calibers in its history before the watch crisis.
300.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
300 calibers.
yeah. It was a very important part of what we had been doing. Now we still know some of them, 645, for example. Pointed eight small second hand winding that has been in our catalog for decades. And we brought, obviously, that in-house watchmaking came to a halt with the watch crisis. We restarted again in 2014 with caliber 110. Then that was quite a step for us because it was hand winding, 10 days, power reserve, non-linear power reserve indication, our patent. And we brought many iterations of that. 111 was the serialization of 110, 112 was the moon phase, 113 that we have here, the pointer week, one of my favorites. 114, the GMT, half-hour GMT, 115, the skeletonized version in the Pro Pilot X. And now we bring 113 with that pointer week calendar in the collection that's basically made for our pointer calendars, which is a signature of what we do since 1938. We do pointer dates, a complication I really love because you don't have to cut a hole in the dial stays intact, and you have that hand that shows the date. With the 113, we have a pointer week, so you have a hand that turns one time a year. And I remember very well when I got the first version of that watch in 2017, and the hand progressed to about a quarter. It was March, Baselworld still, right? I was like, yes, the year is still young. You have a lot of time to do what you have to do. And in October, I realized that the year is almost over. The hand was at 10 o'clock, so you need to rush to get things done. And then in December, you realize, well, maybe 40 more turns, and that's it. So almost the philosophical components to that complication. And now it is in the background where I think it belongs, in those, yes, a bit flashy colors, ideal for these late days of summer, giving some color to your life. Yeah, I think it's great. And as you mentioned, Rob, to look at the movement, right? Look at that movement, hand winding. You see the main barrel, the huge main barrel that stores those 10 days of power reserve. You see the snake gears that make the non-linear power reserve indication. There are not many brands out there that make pointer week calendars. We are one of the few. So, yeah, really love that piece.
We've had a question come in from one of our listeners and or viewers, we can say now, because we've got some viewers.
We need to get used to that.
Strange. And it's caliber related, so this is a good moment to ask it. And the question comes from Horloge Minded, and the question is, Oris came with the amazing in-house caliber 400, but recent launches were again largely available with a Solita caliber. Is that a market reaction to the slowdown post-COVID, or was it always the plan?
Our movement strategy has three pillars. It is the base level of 700 calibers, Solita based. We always have been a brand for the community, as we discussed, and Oris often was a first watch in a watch collector's start, a watch collector's collection, and we owe a lot to the community, and we don't want to give up that first watch in a collection that's very important to us. Then we have Caliber 400 that we launched 2019. That's our own automatic caliber, 5 days power reserve, anti-magnetic, 10 years warranty, 10 years service intervals. And then on top, there is Caliber 110 plus. So we have these three pillars. Since 2019, we have worked a lot on the Caliber 400 series. We have brought several complications there, but we don't want to give up on the people who want to have that more entry-level piece. So, whereas we have brought a lot on Caliber 400, this Basel has seen also some nice introductions in 754 again, the pointer date based on the Solita, as well as 403, the pointer date based on our Caliber 400. So we will continue to have these three pillars, and at the end, it's the consumer who makes a choice what he wants to have.
Beautiful answer. Thanks for that, Rolf. We're going to wrap up the show there so you can get back to business, talking to customers and clients alike. Alon, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap this one up?
So much, but we'll invite Rolf back for a full classic 1 hour episode with or without camera. Let us know what you want.
Yeah, let's have a community-driven episode because that's what TRTS does and it's what Oris does better than any brand out there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, share, and join us again soon.